Hal Cumpston, welcome to An Actor Spares. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah, good.
It's good to have you on, man. I love people that make their own journey. And, I know you made your film and you started this journey yourself. And let alone you did that right out of high school, right?
Yeah, which is weird because I definitely think of myself as a pretty lazy person, but it sort of has been as soon as I got out of high school.
Oh, man, I
I didn't
totally
have the safety
identify.
net. I've had to go opposite.
I'm so lazy, man. I'm the same way. But dude, before we dig into work, let's start at the beginning. Where did you grow up, brother?
Sydney, Australia. Like,
Nice.
yeah, Bondi in particular, but I don't know if anyone
Do
knows
you
the suburbs of Sydney.
do you know Toby Wallace at all? He did the show.
Yeah, we know we've got the same agent. I don't know him though.
Oh, he's a good dude. I'll have to
Yeah,
introduce you guys.
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the weird thing because I did. Well, yeah, I didn't. I haven't like worked a bunch of acting jobs. I don't really know a lot of actors,
Well,
like or
dude,
other
you're
Australian
you're
actors as well.
you're well on your way, man. But let's talk about that. What was it like growing up in Sydney? I mean, I know they have the Opera House, but is there a pretty rich cultural scene there? Because I know it's a tourist trap.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I reckon I've been to the Opera House like once.
Oh,
Because
really?
when you actually live in the place, you don't really. It's not like
Yeah.
we live in Sydney. Let's all go to the Opera House and
Yeah,
hang
yeah, yeah, for sure.
out.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not going to Outback Steakhouse.
There isn't even an Outback Steakhouse here. That has that. I don't think there's like one slither of anything to do with Australia.
And isn't isn't
That
Fo-
company.
isn't Foster's the worst beer there?
You can't even find Foster's here, but I
That's
don't
so
really know how
fucking.
much. Yeah.
Oh, capitalism.
But yeah, but yeah. I don't know. It's very like I like grew up mostly near the beaches, so it's most like it's just over like there's about a 6 month period where you can basically go for swims and it's not too cold or whatever. So just like
Nice.
going to the beach. I don't know. There's
Are
it's
you
a
a
little bit hard to
surfer or
summarize it.
skater?
Look, I like to lead it on and let people believe that I can do both, but I don't really know what I'm doing.
I think we're all faking it
But I
till
just
we
sort
make
of
it.
wear the clothing and pose.
I love it, man. Well, talk to me. How did the arts thing happen for you? Are your parents artists?
Yeah, they both are. Like, my dad had a brief stint on a TV show over here as an actor.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a pretty weird come up in that he like was 2 years ahead at school and then went into medicine, and then as soon as he finished medicine, went to acting school.
Wow.
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman.
No way.
Yeah, and Jason Clarke. But yeah, I mean, he just able. I feel like it was just because his like came from pretty poor family or whatever, didn't have all the like opportunities, that it just didn't quite happen for him as like making it a full on career. And then my mum, they actually met on a show. My mum did like arts and crafts, but then she's also produced her own short films. Then also had to become like a arts teacher at school so that she could obviously be able to look after me and have money and whatever. So I feel like, yeah, it sort of makes sense that then at least then I'm in the playing ground where I get to go, all right, well, now I get to have a crack at it like way younger.
Yeah, that's so radical, man. So talk to me.
Yeah.
Growing up, then, like, were your parents pretty big into like introducing you into film and television and curating things for you?
Um, Sort of. like, yeah, of course, like, because you're watching TV and they'll put on the stuff that they want to watch.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was just in the right time and generation where I was just left, like I was left alone a lot of the time, and I'd either watch TV
Same.
or I started just like without even to my knowledge when I was like 7 or 8, just like accidentally pirating lots of TV shows.
On like
Like not
Morpheus
even
and
pirating, it was just
Kazaa, what were you, or were you on Pirate Bay?
I was just like no, not like Pirate Bay, but I was like 7 and 8 years old. And I'd just be like, watch Family Guy online free, and then
That's
just like
awesome.
go through and just like stream so much of like Family Guy and all these different films. And then between that and then also like the stoner teenagers at Blockbuster, there was a Blockbuster around the corner from my house,
Oh
and I was
man, so
allowed to
you got
walk
to
to
have
and
that
from.
experience. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
but and yeah, And the stoner teenagers that worked there literally couldn't care less if I was renting out like MA15 plus and R18 plus movies.
That's so
So I
rad.
was
See,
copying like, yeah.
were they like, for me, I always like, yeah, they were probably stoners too, but I would always like treat those guys like gods. Were they helping you figure out stuff to watch, or were you just kind of figuring it out on your own?
No, yeah, I don't think Australians like just on that basis aren't like nice enough for the most part, especially if they're teenagers, to be like, whoa, this little kid, I'm gonna
tell him to watch a Clockwork.
It was more
Orange.
just like a level of like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not gonna fucking tell him he can't have it. And that was enough. That was enough of a like respect for each other. But yeah, I was just watching. I'd literally just go to the comedy thing from like 7 and 8 years old and just see like I'm not sure what the ratings are for you guys, but like it had to be like 15 plus or like 18 plus. And then that just, when you're like a young kid, you're like, whoa, that must mean it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I was the same,
so
dude.
just like, yeah, watching a bunch of like, yeah, ridiculous films from a young age. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I haven't like, you can decode your own life and be like, well, that's why I did it. But like, I feel like more than anything, it was just when leaving school, I was like, I always wanted to live a very cool life. And then it just felt like it was either like do a stand-up comedy grind or make a feature film, not a short film, but a feature, just so you like can stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Well, talk to me. Like, what were some of your influences? You mentioned Family Guy. Like, were there some other really big ones that were pretty integral to shaping you?
Yeah, I feel like there was a little period there where all I wanted to do was go to parties or whatever. Like literally when you first get a taste for it when you're like 16.
Like super bad style, like those parties?
Yeah, so so it's Superbad and Dazed and Confused that I watched maybe 50 times each.
Yeah, me too.
It scored those films so heavily that like to the point where when I did, funnily enough, like I left school and I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll just write like a short film first and I'll just start filming on an iPhone, get a show reel, get an agent, like do it that way. But when I started writing, because obviously I hadn't done anything. I hadn't even like been in front of a camera once I finished school. And I just had the idea. I was like, okay, now that I've got all this spare time, I'm going to be an actor. Like, it's like the stupidity to think that you just like can be an actor as opposed to like have to like train and whatever. But I was like, oh no, but I can't be bothered to go to acting school. But then I was just like, all right, I'm going to write a short film first. But then as soon as I started trying to type out a short film, it just became so apparent that like I was an 18-year-old boy. I don't watch short films.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like a normal thing for someone of that age to do.
Totally,
But then
man.
I just started typing, and then 3 days after like starting it, I had about 35 pages of like a feature film script.
Wow. And so given the fact that your parents, both dabbled, were they receptive or were they very cautious about you doing this?
Well, yeah, that was the thing. They were both like pretty much like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is actually really good. I remember because I was living with my dad at the time. And then because I feel like it was just that I'd watched so many like stoner slacker like movies or just like comedy films in general that I had enough of an understanding of a structure and had thought enough in my lifetime of funny stuff to go in that I had all these different bits that I was just like chucking within a story.
Drawing from some of the parties that you went to?
Well, drawing from everything. But like drawing from like even like at school with your friends, like you're constantly like playing, like we would even like crash parties and just pretend to be a different person and play a character. Like like everyone would take like a random hat from someone's house and then we'd crash a party and then play a different character. So even though none of my other friends see themselves as actors, we're just doing that type of stuff all the time, which is just like full on, like really testing yourself.
Speaking of like different characters, that kind of reminds me of Chris Lilly. Was he an influence on you at all?
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit afraid, like scared to say anything now because obviously what's that's Netflix taking him off. Which I'm just not going to comment on any of that.
You don't have to comment on that.
But all that aside,
I just want to say, in America, I don't think American audiences know because it didn't happen here. So basically, just to fill people in, Chris Lilley is an amazing Australian comedian. One of my personal favorites. I think he's a genius, but he did some things in the past that involved like essentially, I guess, blackface and playing other characters that those shows were shot in 2007 culturally don't really hold up to the political correctness standards of today.
I mean, I can't be fucked. I'm not an expert in this thing. I can't be fucked.
No one is.
Tiptoe around it and be like, he did this, and because of like basically he did some stuff that now he's getting in trouble for, and his shows have been taken off the streaming platform.
In Australia,
however,
they have.
Yeah, in Australia. Yeah.
Wow.
But all that aside, he is probably the most successful Australian person in comedy probably ever. I feel like his level of comedy is probably the most successful Australian ever. So yeah, of course, and without getting myself in trouble, because I literally don't know enough about the topic that I'm not going to like.
No,
you know what I mean?
Man, I'm not trying.
It's not my space. Yeah. However, yeah, of course. Like I watched him from like 6 years old all the way up until like the more recent stuff. Like, yeah, that's a humongous thing, because that's the only Australian person that was even in my like in the same thing as going, wow, this is the best thing ever. This is the best thing ever. And then like he was there. Like they've actually like. Besides this one other random film called You and Your Stupid Mate with Angus Sampson. But like besides that, there literally was a very small amount of Australian stuff that like appeals to even like I guess like a young person's demographic.
So would you say most of the things that were influencing you were a lot of American content?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, there obviously were things, but just not that much. Like it is weird that that's how much it does affect you. But like I'm not going to see Home and Away, which is like a cheesy Australian TV show, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that instead of like South Park. Yeah,
I know, but like Ben Mendelsohn was on like a soap opera as a kid there, right? Like, did you watch any of that kind of stuff?
Ben Mendelsohn is one of the few people in the industry that I do know, and he is like the best actor ever. So I've seen basically everything Ben Mendelsohn does.
He's I think one of the greatest living actors in the world.
Yeah. Insane.
So were you doing high school plays at all, or not even?
No, like I was doing drama at school, but that was basically just where like a lot of like all the smart ass and naughty kids went and did drama, and we just have so much fun because it was just like this area where you can go, like all the stuff you're getting in trouble for in the other class, this is encouraged.
Totally.
To do that same thing. But yeah, no, I was doing that, but I didn't do the plays in school because they were musicals. And like, I couldn't think of anything worse than doing a musical.
Yeah. Not very cool.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote like 2 or 3 scripts, like very like quick things on my Word document. But like, I literally didn't even show anyone because I was like, these are so shit. I don't even want anyone to see. Like, instead of getting better at writing, I didn't even like want to risk. Because all my friends were super fucking funny, and if I wrote something that wasn't funny, then it was gonna, like, I don't know. But yeah, it was funny. But then I just left when in that little period, because I wrote the first draft of Bilch, which is the film we ended up making, in 10 days, and I just actually felt confident enough about it that I was like, gave it to all my friends. My dad gave it to a few of his friends that are in the industry, and then I didn't receive anything that wasn't super positive.
That's so
and everyone
great,
was so excited that I felt like I had to do it. Like it was just, I was such a lazy person unless there was like very good motivation. And then from then on, I basically worked 7 days a week for like a year and a half, 2 years making it happen.
And was it really just kind of trial by fire? Like you were filming and you were going to film school as you were filming it, you know?
Oh, 100%. In every different job I was doing, I had no idea. That's like, James, my mate from school, like 2 of my mates from school, I just brought on, made them work as producers on it.
Yeah.
They both didn't really have that much of an interest in the film industry. Like my friend James was like a crazy like surf photographer. Like we'll go out there and like the biggest surf in Australia or whatever and just like sit in the reef and film. But like it's not like that's very different from creating an indie film.
Yeah.
And being a producer on it. But then he just came to me for one thing where he's like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing, like in shooting like second unit or whatever. And I was like, Yeah, dude, I don't know what I'm doing in all 5 of my roles on this film. No, it's not just one thing. Like, no one,
Yeah.
we don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna like, but yeah, I mean, the whole experience was like, it was actually super stressful, and like, there were definitely moments that were just incredibly enjoyable, and it's all worth it when you finish it. But like, that whole experience for the most part was so incredibly difficult. So it was the definition of trial by fire.
And was it indeed shot on an iPhone or?
No, we had all these crazy plans about how we were going to try and get money, and then eventually came down to all these mum and dad investors just investing a small amount of money, but we were able to shoot it on like a Red.
Oh,
So it was able,
nice.
yeah. So it's like, it was fully, yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous that like there was one scene, like this just ridiculous, silly scene in the film, and there's like 20 people discussing how we're going to shoot it. And then I'm just thinking, like, at that point I was 19, and I was like, I wrote this scene a year ago as just an 18-year-old when I was high. I was like, now there's 20 people like discussing
on set figuring it out,
it's just
mate.
insane.
Yeah. That's so rad, man. And so were you kind of very much watching the footage as you were filming it and learning what was working and what wasn't working?
I mean, everything was super, super chaotic, and there wasn't a lot of sleep going on. There was a lot of energy drinks, and then like not a lot of sleep. Everything, there was just such little time to do everything we needed to do. So like, literally, I would have loved to be watching and learning and that type of thing, but everything was like, it was extremely stressful going from this. Like, there was so many who like were undermanned, and were under, like, I was under heaps of pressure, partially because when you're learning something and you don't know what you're doing, it just adds another thing to it.
Yeah,
and also,
totally.
This is my baby. This felt like my chance to like live a life that isn't mediocre, which is also very dramatic of me.
No, not at all.
Like, I could have had another chance, but also I felt like I had to, like, people have been so generous to give me the chance, like the money, like
you
like,
took it seriously
that we could do it. Yeah. So I was literally, it was just everything. But yeah, I feel like you can't help but have to learn how to do everything super quick there. And especially as a lazy person who is a procrastinator, there was no time for procrastination.
So how long after you finished filming did it take you to edit it?
So basically, I mean, we had a few drafts, but also as well, the editors that were editing it had never done a feature film. One of them was my mate from class, James. So I just went, all right, you've edited a few bodyboarding videos. Now you're going to have to edit a feature film.
Yeah.
It basically took around, the first one was like 1-2 months. And then I think that all up about like 3-4 months. But there was all this other shit where we were trying to like run a film festival around the country with it, like, which I just don't even. It just seems ridiculous that we're even doing that. So I do that during the day, and that just wasn't working. Like, it was, it was super rough. But yeah, I mean, that ended up not working at all, the film festival segment of it. So then they'd edit through the day, and then my dad would finish. Sorry, to be clear as well, my dad directed it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I thought you directed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, from the word go that he'd go to work, I'd do stuff during the day or work, and then we'd come home and work till like 3 a.m. So that was what it was the whole way. And then from all that work, it ended up getting to the point that we were able to film it. And so he was the director, producer. But yeah. Anyway, then when the editing process was that I was doing the film festival during the day, my dad's doing the doctor stuff during the day, and then we'd go to the edit suite at night and film and edit from anywhere from like 3 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Was that a cool bonding experience for you and your dad?
No, it's super stressful.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It doesn't help the relationship too much. However, it also like is just meaningful in like other ways, that the fact that he was doing that. Yeah. But no, that was more than anything insane. And there was so many moments there where I thought we were just like I'd given myself like full on pretty crippling anxiety just from the amount of pressure and the lack of sleep. And
What?
I also we also thought that the film was terrible at points. Like, but until we had one showing like a few hours out of Sydney, where one of the kids from the film, his mum had a deal with like this cute little cinema there.
Yeah.
Like it was like a country town, and she ends up selling it out to like 72 people or whatever. And we're like, holy crap! Like it wasn't even a fully finished version of the film, and we're shitting ourselves because we'd had a few screenings before that, just like really little ones in like the middle of nowhere in Australia. And we just couldn't get anyone to the cinema, and like people like didn't even really like it. But then so there was like 75 people packed into this little cinema on the south coast of Australia. And after that point, like it literally, like everyone came out of the cinema and just loved it so much. And then it just was such a nice moment because it's just like,
Wow.
oh my God, maybe we didn't make something that was a piece of shit. Like, thank God, all these people like loved it so much. And then that led on to a month later, we had the first premiere, which was at the cinema that I went to heaps as a kid, just like the local cinema within like this cool art
Hometown hero style.
Yeah, hometown hero style. At the Randwick Ritz for people that are in Sydney. And the cinema, the first screening sold out because they just said they'd give us 4 screenings.
Yeah.
There. And the first one was in the 850 person cinema. And they were like, are you sure you want to like pay for the 850 person cinema? And we're like, yeah, we're just going to see what happens. And it sold out within like 6 hours, like 850 people, just because everyone from the area, because it is a lack of Australian content. But then someone does see something, they go, holy shit, like more than anything, I feel like everyone wanted to be a part of the event.
Yeah.
But then we sold out all those 4 sessions. They weren't all 850, obviously, but like there was like that on that night of the premiere that like everyone, it was just so, there was like, everyone was just like sneaking drinks in, like there's little teenagers like sneaking in through the fire exit. Like it was just insane. It felt like a rock concert. Like it was just rogue teenage energy, but also there's all families, like, and everyone, like, it was just such a crazy like event. And you couldn't even hear a lot of the film because everyone was like reacting. It was like a football.
It was like a super bad screening in real life. Like people loved it.
Yeah. Like everyone was just like either laughing or like seeing their friends on there, and then just being like everyone was reacting like, oh, like, but just, I'm just like sitting there being like, shut up, like you're missing the film. But like you can't, like that energy that we got from that was just insane. I was like,
that's so great, shit. Man.
And everyone loved it. Yeah.
So then what did you do then strategically? Like you knew you had these screenings that were successful and people were responding to it. Did you and your dad at that point, you're like, well, we got to find an agent or a publisher? Like what was your move?
So like everything, we didn't know what we were doing in the situation. Yeah. But basically I'd already been working on it for that point, 18 months, basically 7 days a week. So I was starting to really like hit, and because we had things like the film festival and these other things like the documentary we were trying to do with it that didn't work.
Like a behind the scenes doc or?
Yeah. Like a behind the scenes doc that was also trying to be a different documentary. Like we were trying to do so many things and we already didn't know what we were doing just with the film.
Yeah.
I was so burnt out at that point that like I literally just was like, all right, well, we need to try and find someone to distribute it like as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And then luckily, basically had a few weeks off from it. We talked to this person and then we were able to get it distributed nationally for one weekend over like our version of the spring break weekend.
Yeah.
Well, it's called Schoolies here, but it's for like when people leave school, because you can drink at 18, then they all go and party somewhere for that particular weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got it distributed through them, which is awesome because then it also gives us the ability to like get government rebates and also credibility that like I don't know if there's any other film written by an 18-year-old that got screened nationally, but
there wasn't. I'm sure I can guarantee you there wasn't.
Yeah. But funnily enough, that actually came a bit later. But I had like 2 weeks off from like the working on the film or whatever. Everyone wanted to come and have, like, every person ever that had known me in my life wanted just like a night with me in their kitchen, like
having that
drinking,
movie come to life.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drinking beers, being like, I saw that film, like, come on, come here. So like just had 2 weeks of that or whatever. I was like, oh my God. And then I'm getting the chronological order of the story wrong. However, anyway,
It's fun, man.
in the last few weeks I'm working on Bliched, I get an email through from American managers, and I go, oh, also as well, am I just rambling? Is this what I'm meant to do?
Yeah.
I'm just rambling.
No, you're doing it totally, dude. This is it. Yeah.
All right, anyway, I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, a few weeks before the premiere of the film, I get a email from these managers that goes like, oh, we really like blah, blah, blah. We saw the trailer for Bliched to it. And I just look at it and I go, that is like such a bullshit
generic email.
Like,
yeah.
And then, like, I don't know, and because it was like 3 a.m. when I saw it, and then I wake up the next morning, I check it out, and I type it up, and I go, oh, holy shit, that's like a proper management company. Like,
you went on IMDb.
Jeff Goldblum, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then anyway, they send me two auditions. One of them is for like this terrible Nickelodeon-y Netflix show, but I sort of just do it anyway and sort of like use it as a fun thing that I get to play a super cheesy character. But I did that after I did one first, which was the new Walking Dead spin-off.
Amazing.
Which ends up being The Walking Dead World Beyond. So that was my first American audition. And basically I'm going heaps hard because I'm like, I want these American managers to sign me up. I really don't want to have to just have no money all the time
be
and
broke.
Be working on this, working on independent films. Please give me an out.
Yeah.
So then I ended up, on the night of my film premiere, I find out that the managers loved the audition and they're going to sign me up.
Amazing.
So I'm just like, awesome.
And you got the role.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, I get the call back and I go, holy shit. Okay. And then, and then like basically a few weeks after I'd filmed, stopped working on the premiere and been working it 7 days a week and just like, what the fuck? Then I get another what the fuck in that I get told that my first American audition has led me to a role, like a lead role in the show. And then I go, okay, well, I guess I'm moving to Richmond, Virginia then.
Wait, what are you filming in Richmond?
No, like that's what I was filming. That's where we filmed The Walking Dead.
Oh, you did? That's where I grew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I grew up in Richmond.
Yeah, well, I spent like 6 months there.
Oh, because there's so many of them now. I know there's a bunch that film in Atlanta. I didn't realize that was the one you booked.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Richmond?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a little bit weird that like I wasn't 21.
Yeah.
But that's just like a whole American thing. That was just a little bit weird because on the weekend.
Next time, DM me. I'll take care of you, dude. You know.
Yeah. I'm 21 now, so it's no longer a problem. But no, it was pretty cool. Like, I mean, such a random experience though to go from living in like one area in Australia your whole life, and then just Richmond, Virginia. Like not like LA or New York where there's new people coming in from all over the world all the time.
Yeah.
Richmond, Virginia, for the most part, a lot of people that live there are like already from there.
Yeah, trust me, I know well.
Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that a great experience?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was slightly lonely at times, but the overall feeling was just like, holy shit, somehow I've done it. Like I'm in this situation, which this is the exact thing I wanted. I wanted like a very cool life from a young age. So that was the main thing. I just felt so like, as soon as I booked that, I feel like a weight like flew off my shoulders and I went, you know what? It's actually all good because
I'm going to be all right.
I know that like I can act and I can like I feel like I've already, maybe it is just too much arrogance, but anyway, it doesn't even matter because it works. But I do feel like, all right, well, this is the opportunity. I got a whole season as well. It's not like I got 2 scenes in a film. I've got a whole season to show what I can do in like a humongous show. But yeah, I mean, it's just so cool. Like it just allows myself to have such a cool life, which is good because I just would have been extremely bored with anything that wasn't.
Yeah, man. I'm
like
so
that, I guess.
And so after that, did you have a lot of auditions again?
There weren't a heap of auditions because COVID sort of happened very soon after I finished filming that.
Yeah.
I came back to Australia. I like fucked around with my friends for a little while, and then I went, all right, gonna go to LA, gonna meet as many people as I can. I got to write another film. Like I've got ideas. I got to stop. I'm being a bit too lazy being back at home with my friends.
Yeah.
But I got to take meetings, you know what I mean, and be able to network, because that's what I feel like a lot of people, because it takes a long time to
Totally.
like get to their point, but then at least they've got the networking out of the way and they know people. Whereas because I just got like thrown into the deep end straight away, I'm just like, I don't fucking know anyone. Like a mentor wouldn't go astray. But yeah, as soon as I got there, COVID literally within a week and a half, and I paid for an apartment for like a pretty long time.
No way.
COVID just went from a joke to so not a joke so quickly.
Were you able to get out and get home?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
able to, like, yeah, thank God. But like, I also went like pretty early, like even like from when I booked my flight, it was just it was weird at the start because everyone went a little bit like post-apocalyptic mode.
Yeah, totally.
I feel that everything just like within 12 hours, it just felt so much more extreme than the 12 hours before that. So I was glad to be leaving. I was like, I'm getting like, I need familiarity in like a time of like what is going on.
Yeah, man.
Which I mean, now I don't even feel, I'm not as like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not really scared of it, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's not like a massive like fear on me. But at the start, you don't really know. You're like,
no.
Well, is this going to be the thing that fucking kills everyone?
So did you use this downtime to work on your film?
Yeah. So when I came back, I went to the country with one of my friends and wrote a new film.
And is it you have like a final draft?
Yeah, I do have a final draft. I mean, it's a little bit difficult with like, because it's basically like it's got a good story. However, it is an all-out like comedy. It's just exactly what I want to make. If I'm gonna have to go make a film again and put my absolute everything into it, which is like, that sounds like a bullshit thing to say, but literally, if you're gonna make a film that's worthwhile, you shouldn't be like sleeping like 10 hours and like, go have coffee breaks and things. That needs to be everything that means anything to you in the world.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do something that is just ridiculous and stupid and funny, and where I'm like spending time being like, all right, how can we make this scene funnier? Or like, what's these little added things that I can do like that, like in that world, as opposed to like something serious. Like, fuck it, I'll do that when I've got more emotional intelligence or I care more about serious things. But this film, I just feel like is, I don't know, obviously you never really know, that's the difficult thing, but it's at least, I could spend time trying to cater to everyone else's needs.
Yeah, man, you got to do you.
This is just the exact film that I want to see.
That's so beautiful, man. And is Pops coming back to work on it?
I mean, we'll see.
Touche. Yeah.
But he is helping me with the script and stuff. And there's different areas where like I can do the dialogue very well. I can hear the characters speaking, and like just from like, I don't know, improvise, like not even being a normal person in my whole life. I just like improv into characters and just pretend being a character, like with my friends my whole life. So that just feels easy, that then I just start hearing it in my head and typing it down. But there are, say, things in like the action sequences where I'll just like explain it lazily. Yeah. Where then my dad's good at like actually making it sound, he'll just come in and like just add like a thing and be like, no, say blah, 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 blah. And I go, yep, that's good. That's better. And also it's just good to have like a different side of the brain. So he's definitely come on as a script supervisor already. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a super stressful environment to put yourself in. Also as well, it might be a matter of like, you know, like if we want the budget we want, we might need to take another director, but I don't know. It's all just like good problems to have. But yeah, I mean, between that and we've got offers from streaming platforms for Bliched, which I really hope we're able to figure out and get it on there. Because again, it adds to the credibility, I guess. Like it makes people actually think. It's funny because I think of like me quitting, failing English at school. However, now I've got like, if I can get the credibility of being a super young feature film writer or whatever on Netflix or whatever streaming platform it does end up being, that then I can get credibility enough credibility within this writing world to then fund the stupidest, silly film ever, which hopefully,
That's amazing, man. Well, dude, final few questions for you, man. For all the young filmmakers out there that, you know, are aspiring and, you know, trying to figure it out, any words of advice for them?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I feel like what you can do is work hard and make exactly what you want. And it's going to come from trial and error as well. Like literally sitting around and talking about something doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, even that, like, I feel making that film was it's easily the most difficult thing I've ever done. However, now it allows me to, now I feel like every acting job I get, like now I'm on Nicole Kidman's show at the moment, 9 Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, with Michael Shannon.
I've only got a few scenes.
Yeah.
I've only got a few scenes, but I've just got all the best actors, and I just come on every now and then for my day, and I'm working with the best actors. Everything's way more bougie. I've got less lines. Like, it's just funny how it's.
And has that been really cool, just being
insanity
in the weeds with them?
It's just ridiculous. Like, it's full dumb. It's so sick.
Yeah, that's great,
like,
dude.
It's just so cool. It's so, like, yeah. It's, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
And you're filming in Australia, right?
Yeah, in, like, the nicest, coolest part of Australia as well, Byron Bay.
Oh,
like
man.
Like a holiday place, yeah.
Living the dream, man. That's awesome. Well, dude, final question. What's keeping you inspired right now during all this crazy? I mean, I know you're working, but you know, what's keeping you going, man, keeping you writing and keeping your head up?
It's a very different situation in Australia. Like that we only had like full lockdown for a matter of like 8 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been able to go like to the pub and drink beers for like about 5 months.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit rough. Like I can't even imagine how hard it is in America just for that amount of time. But I guess when I mean, I feel like it's just knowing that it is going to be over. And also I feel like, I mean, hopefully it can just sort itself out, because it's a little bit hard when, especially with people my age, this is the best, like, years of our life. It's like, all right, well, let's sort this out, because it's easy as a 7-year-old to shave off 2 years so that you can live a bit more. But we're a lot younger. Like, I could go and get hit by a bus tomorrow. Like, we want
live every day like it's your last, man. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, what's the best way for people to stay in touch with you?
I don't know, Instagram. I don't really care that much about the social medias, but I seem to, it's like other thing that I have to, and I probably will post things on there.
And that's where people can figure out what's going to happen with the film.
Yeah, my Instagram, Hal Cumpston. Yeah.
Amazing. I'll have it tagged here. Well, Hal Cumpston, thank you so much for coming on, man. And let's do this again soon, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I mean, I literally just chatted shit the entire time. I don't know if that was what I was meant to do. But
this is what we do, brother. Just talk shit.
Okay, cool.
All right, brother. So much love and good luck with filming. All right.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you.
All right, dude. Talk soon.
See ya.
I am thrilled to announce that An Actor Despairs is partnering with a wonderful CBD company called Kind Farms. Everyone out there has heard of CBD. I started taking it a few years ago when I first started getting sober and to help with my anxiety. Sadly, as one can do, I was overtraining in the gym, and a friend recommended a topical and a tincture to help with the pain. I tried it. It was okay. However, recently, I was introduced to a product that has really changed my life. Not only has it helped me with anxiety, but I am stronger than I have ever been. I'm able to carry out lifts my body used to prevent me from doing. Kind Farm products have single-handedly changed my life athletically and personally. They utilize 100% local licensed farmers, organic cultivation, and CO2 extraction for superior CBD. Kind Farms is turning CBD to a kind alternative to pharmaceuticals. Let's transform Tobacco Row into Hemp Row. If you want to get involved, please reach out. Together, we can make a difference. You can use my code RYAN 10 for 10% off. You can find them on Instagram at Kind Farms Inc., all one word. That's KINDPHARMSINC, and their website is kindfarmsinc.com. Once again, my code for 10% off is Ryan10.